school stress with anxiety and peer pressure. And I often just thought this thing called anxiety that we talked about was something I felt more or less constantly, which made more sense when I got my ASD diagnosis. So I had acute anxiety when I was a teenager, but I just thought that was normal, and to a level it is, but not panic attacky daily kind of situation, which is what I was in, which wasn't easy to manage. And then depression came into my life like an ink to water when I was 16, 17. So when you add ink to water, drop by drop by drop, it slowly dilutes into the water and the water becomes darker and darker and darker. And that's what my mind felt like. And then there was this downward spiral. And it really did feel like a spiral going down and down and down and down. And the further I got down, and the more I wanted to get up, but I couldn't get up because I just didn't know how. For the longest time, I denied there was a problem. So I mainly became really poorly when I was in employment. And this isn't purely to blame in employment, but there was a big situational aspect to that. But I blamed the long hours. I was often working 9, 8 a.m. in the morning till nearly midnight, or like 10 at night till 10 at night, or 10 in the morning till 10 at night without really any break, or if I had a break, it's like 5 minutes, if that. I blamed it on the long hours. I blamed it on how people treated me, which was partially true. One of the reasons why I'm so big in advocating for mental health and neurodiversity and how naive you can feel as a neurodivergent person is massively to do with this, because the way I got treated was bad, and I presumed that was normal because they told me it was normal, and that spiral back and forth, and it was bound to have a negative effect. I blame being a teenager, a hormonal teenager. It has a lot to blame with it. I blamed PMS for a while. I blamed having a bad period. I blamed being in pain, because around this sort of time I'd torn my abdominal wall and I was in a lot of pain. We didn't know that's what I'd done at the time, but I was in a lot of pain. And I blamed it on just being tired. And what I didn't realise is that my mental state was amplifying everything else. And it was kind of like oh, that's going to make that worse. That's going to make your body's hurting, going to make your head worse, but your head worse is going to make your body worse. And it was just like these two things that were fighting each other.